It's Thanksgiving weekend, and with Christmas coming up, I wanted to share a few more cool movies currently on Netflix Instant. Like last time, I had them broken down into categories, only I added a new one this time around. So let's get started. Action. Blood and Bone. Michael Jai White from Black Dynamite stars as Bone, a convict fresh out of prison that enters an underground MMA circuit. The story was good, even if it was predictable, but the best part was the fighting. This wasn't super close-up, quick edit, shaky cam. This was brutal, bone-crunching, visceral fighting, plus a few cameos from MMA fighters like Kimbo Slice and Gina Carano. Thriller. The Final. The Final should be required viewing for any high school kid caught bullying. They might just think twice next time. The Final's about a group of kids tired of being bullied, so they set up an elaborate trap to catch the bullies and torture the hell out of them both mentally and physically. The movie didn't pull any punches, it didn't turn the camera away, and I have a lot of respect for it for not copping out with the ending. Sci-fi. Lockout. How did this movie flop at the box office? Guy Pearce plays one of the coolest action heroes I've seen in ages, kind of a mixture of Snake Plissken and John McClane. The movie's about a riot on a prison satellite above Earth in the future. Richie goes in to rescue one of the hostages and kick all sorts of ass while he's there. Witty dialogue, great pacing, and a very likable lead make this a movie I can see myself watching over and over. Comedy. Jim Norton, please be offended. I decided instead of a comedy movie to go with one of my favorite stand-up comedians of all time. Jim Norton from The Opie and Anthony Show, and also frequently seen on The Tonight Show, is hysterically funny in his most recent stand-up. The jokes are incredibly anti-PC, and it's refreshing to hear his views on many taboo subjects. Horror. Remains. An ambitious low-budget zombie movie based on the graphic novel of the same name. A science experiment goes wrong in Vegas and a few people are trapped in a hotel. The chemistry between the two leads was good, and while some plot points borderlined on moronic, I still enjoyed the film overall. There were some genuinely funny moments, and it had a bit in the end I wasn't expecting. The effects weren't bad for the most part, with the exception of a horrendous CGI effect towards the end. With a few extra bucks, it could have been a whole lot better, but for what they had, it was fun. TV series. Surface. Surface was a show that unfortunately only ran for one season back in 2005. It was about these sea creatures that were causing water levels in the ocean to rise, which was flooding the Earth. They had an intriguing premise, and the intertwining plots made every episode interesting. Not to mention that they kept finding reasons to put Lake Bell in a bikini. They only managed 15 episodes, so it's not a huge investment. Plus, the series finale, even though it is a cliffhanger, does provide a decent conclusion. WTF. Rubber. The premise of Rubber is simple. A sentient tire with telekinesis that travels through the desert killing things. Alright, maybe it's not that simple. At first it sounds like something from Troma, but the actual movie is not what you're expecting. See, there's actually two movies going on at the same time. There's the one about the tire, and then there's another one that's about a group of people who represent the audience watching the tire. The film often breaks the fourth wall, and it even calls out other movies. It's one of the most enjoyable experimental films I've seen, and it's more intelligent than you would think. It almost feels like something David Lynch would have done. Alright, so that's it for this batch of movies. I hope you check them out and enjoy. I'll see you next week when I start with my much-anticipated Christmas episodes.